Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you may be around the globe. And I hope that you enjoyed your weekend because I'm going to tell you, I had a fantastic weekend. And, I've been telling you all last week about my fantastic guest that will be on today, and she's going to share with you some awesome tips beyond writing, okay? Beyond writing your book. But for those of you who don't know me, I'm Gertrude J. Chapman, and I teach women how to see their value and their self worth. Because, a lot of times women struggle with not seeing their value and not seeing their self worth, even though they may be doing a lot of things for everybody else. Somewhere in their dailies, in the business, they forget to realize or see their value. And this is something that I teach them. I show them through my services as an inspirational book coach. I make it easy for women to generate a consistent monthly revenue from authoring their books and knowing exactly what to include in their books. And I show them how to maximize their potential. That's a lot of times, that's what happens a lot of times when people struggle. They do not maximize their potential, okay? And it also saves them time and avoid them from making those costly mistakes. And I always tell you that the reason that you may be struggling, the reason that you may be, going through this particular thing, whatever it is, this circumstance, situation in your life is because you're not maximizing your potential. And that is really the root cause. The struggling, that's a surface thing. But maximizing your potential is the root cause. Okay? So the theme for this month has been productivity, how to be productive in writing your book. And today we're going to talk about a very important topic beyond writing the book, beyond writing your book. You know that book that you always say that you're going to write, but you're not, thinking that it's something that you should be doing right away. But we're going to share with you some tips. And I have my friend Laura here. She's going to share with you some tips that will take your business to the next level. And at this time, let me introduce Laura Neubauer, and she's going to tell you a little bit about herself.
Well, thank you for the invitation for being on the show today. I love it. I love it. Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a serial entrepreneur that has fallen into the edutech industry, and I own a company called Kaleidoscope Media Services. And we help businesses scale by creating digital products such as e-learning courses, membership sites, or community sites. So that's a little bit about me, Gertrude.
Yes, and that's something that's very interesting, And as we get more into it, I want you to grab your notebook and grab a pen and see how you can take your business to the next level. And good morning, Darlene. Thank you for joining us today. And the first question I'm going to ask you, Laura, is who is your ideal audience?
My ideal audience are coaches, consultants, authors, and speakers, and basically solopreneurs, people that don't have enough billable hours to scale their business, and they'll be maxed out at the end of 60, 70 hours a week, and they have no more billable hours. Or people that also want their time and freedom back by creating a passive income through a digital product as well. So we not only create digital products for that solopreneur or coach and consultant to generate revenue, but also repetitive activities to get their time back as well. But any of those niches, coaches, consultants, they have a service that can be digitized, an author or speaker, because they already have content that they have created. So it just has to be transformed into a digital product. But they have content, really good content that can be transformed very quickly into a digital product. So that's my niche market.
Yeah, and you know when you said that, that's very important. Good morning, Regina. How you doing today? Thank you for joining us. You know, that's very important that you mention that because a lot of people in those industries, they don't realize that they have valuable content. They might be out there, putting up posts on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn and they're just putting it out there or even on their websites and then they're not realizing that they have something of value that could bring them in that revenue stream. And do you see this?
Yes, absolutely. And it's, some sort of transformational, act that they want someone to have. They're going to help someone in some way with their message or their content to achieve something. And everybody has that value. But what's interesting with either a book or an e-learning course is people can expand outside their geographic region, right? So
That's
they don't
right.
have to, just go in their neighborhood or their community or their city or county, localized. One thing that COVID has taught us is, the world is now our opportunity. So if you have something that's maybe not quite right for the community you live in, and but you may be able to sell it in a different country, sell it on a different area of the nation, what have you. But that's one thing COVID told us: yeah, you can expand your reach now, and it's easy to do.
Yeah, it's very easy, especially with those e-products. And
Mhm.
like you said, like in your industry, I do very well in the European markets. I don't know about you. Haven't you seen that? We do very
Yes.
well in the European markets, I don't know why, but when I look at, the stats, the analytics and different things, I see where a lot of it is coming from. And it's the European market. And, that's a good thing. That we have an opportunity to expand beyond that border, and that's where I always teach my audience that they have to see themselves on the bigger stage. Don't be ashamed, don't try to hold back, but can you agree that this is the time to do that? This is the
This
time
is
to
the
do that.
time to do it, but you brought up a very important point is, your analytics showed you a different area of the world that are very attracted to your
Hmm.
service, and that it's people are thirsting for information. So if
Yes.
let's say you're a business coach in a metropolitan city, there's probably 300 business coaches, right? So in a
Hmm.
metropolitan city, but the person that goes out there, there's someone looking for that knowledge, whether, it's in the UK, whether it's in Australia, whether, there are people searching for it. So even if you think your area is a little congested with competition, other parts of the world are thirsting for information, and we don't realize how much they're wanting to be educated. And we have a lot to offer.
And that's so true. Good morning, Gabe. Good morning, Tommy. Welcome to Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. And I'm talking to Laura Neubauer, and she's sharing some information that's very vital to your business success, to scale your business to the next level. And, that's very important, Laura. Also, with people, we all live busy lives, okay? And our lives are very busy. And there's 63,000 Google searches every second of every day. And with this 7.9 billion people in this world. And like I said, we all live in, these busy lives. And people are looking for experts. They're looking for their expert to show up, to bring them value. And it's so much easier to have it in a condensed format. Wouldn't you agree? Where they don't have to look and search on the internet because searching on the internet, that's a lot of time. That is a
Yes.
lot of time, and there's stuff out there that's not really good that good. You know what I mean? And you
Yes.
know,
And having a digital product or having a book will make you an expert in your industry. So
mhm,
where you're with your competition, and trying to position yourself as the go-to person, just by having a book automatically elevates you, right? Having a different type of product automatically elevates you and
mhm,
as the go-to person. But you're absolutely right. You can go on the internet and Google all day long and figure
mhm.
something out. But people don't have that time, and they would rather pay for the efficiency and pay from a trusted person to deliver it. So with that, you're automatically a trusted, person, rather than just going out there shooting YouTube videos for 20 seconds every day, right?
That's it. That's so true. And I like you. That's what you had brought up about a trusted, okay, a trusted source. That's very, very important. And that's what we want to do. We want to bring value to our audience and let them know, hey, these are trusted sources. These are people that have their experience, or they have expertise in this particular area, and that's very, very important. Very
Right.
important. And I know we talked about, because you and I, we had a very interesting conversation last week, and I thought this would be a great fit for my program, because I always talk about, writing your book, getting people to write their books, because this is very important. But then there's something beyond the book. But then you told me that your services after, and I always tell my audience this, there's things that your book opens up to you for the next level, and tell them
Right.
about your next level service. This is after the book.
After the book, correct. You have the book. You've written the content. You have put in all that energy. Okay, so now you have a book that you can sell, a product that you can sell at one price point. What if you could take that same content that you've already done all the work and energy, retitle it, create it into a digital product, and sell it for 10x, for a couple $100, or make a digital workshop out of it. But there's another revenue stream. And that's what we talk about when we specialize in scaling people's businesses. We really bring them through the process of zero revenue activities up to the big one-on-one product, whatever that is, if they're a business coach or consultant, the hourly one-on-one coaching.
Mm-hmm.
But, in the scalability model, we take you from zero revenue activities, which could be networking, writing a newsletter, your email blast. They're all zero revenue activities. And then you start inserting products for people to kind of get to know you. So that could be your book, that could be an e-learning product, that could be a workshop, a membership, and then your one-on-one coaching, and you scale it all the way up. But what's interesting about that model is, if someone's not ready for that big price tag of your coaching and consulting services, you don't have to say no to them anymore. You can say, oh, maybe it's not right at this time for you, but I have an e-learning course for $299, or I have a book for $25. Why don't you start there and get some, benefit from my services in either my book or my course or workshop? And then they'll go through the transformation and be successful, and hopefully go to your one-on-one coaching at the end. But if not, you have not said no. You've given them options,
Yes,
right,
yes.
to work with you. And it gets to know that know, like, and trust a little bit faster too, because maybe I can't afford a couple $100 an hour for you of private coaching, but let me test you. Let me take a little bite of you with that book, right? Let me
Mhm.
see if I like the book. Oh, I like the book. Okay, now I'll go and buy the e-learning course. Oh, I like that. Oh, guess what? I've had some transformation. I can afford the one-on-one coaching now. So it just speeds up that sales cycle completely.
Yes, and it gives them something to choose from, and that's so good. It gives them something to choose from. And also, we, like I say, we live busy lives, okay?
Yes.
And we have so much to do. And this is another way I would call more or less automation, because now they could go to the website, they could choose whatever level they're at, whatever, price point they're at,
Mhm.
and like you say, it's not telling them no, and
Correct.
then it's not shutting them off. It's not having them say, well, I just can't afford this, and I'm just gonna, just give up. It's giving them something to choose from. So, that's very good. That is very
We're,
good.
we're business owners, so no means no money, right? So we have
That's
to
right.
give them options in order to at least spend a little bit with us, right? Spend a little bit with us
Yeah.
at
And
any price point.
and that's true. And a lot of I would say new business owners, new authors, they don't understand that. So I'm glad that you brought that point out. They don't understand that. They might have a product here. Maybe this book is what I would say, what, 1995, and that's all they have. But what about your high end,
Hmm.
person?
Right,
Or they might have a product that's 2,500. Okay, well, what about that low end person and everybody in between? You have
right,
to have a variety of things. A lot of times they don't understand that. Well, a lot of times they don't understand what a book will open up for them.
right.
you know and as we go into 2022, let's begin, y'all, let's begin to change our mindset and see that there's something more after you have written your book for you. There's something more for you, that after you have written your book, there's other things, there's other streams of income that you could come into. Yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Oh, yeah. It's just, seeing what your comfort level is, right? What you want to do. Some people enjoy the, interaction with people, just creating a workshop, or,
Mhm.
something like that for another revenue stream, is easy to do, just a couple times a year, but it gives you that little push, right? That little revenue
Mhm.
push a couple of times a year. So,
Yeah. Because every once in a while I throw a webinar up there, and that's something else I'm thinking about. Going into December, having a webinar with a group of people, getting together with them to bring value into our audience's lives and different things. So there's a lot of different things. Laura and I haven't even touched on a lot of things that you could do once you write your book and once you have that e-course. We haven't even touched on it because that would be a long conversation. So the next question is, why do you think many women entrepreneurs fail to reach their goals? And relating to your service, how can this assist them?
well, I think sometimes we don't step far enough. Okay. We don't take that extra step because we don't know what's on the other side, right? Or what, we can't see that opportunity, and we sometimes see the obstacle instead of the opportunity. And so, some of our clients, when they come to us, you know, they haven't done it because haven't written their e-learning course because it's too overwhelming, it's too confusing, it's, all this. They don't know, they don't understand what it can do for their business. And they just need someone to be next to them to show them how to do it efficiently, right? And that's what
Mhm.
we're here for. This is why I started Kaleidoscope Media Services, because I created my own products and I was so confused and so overwhelmed that I'm like, oh boy, I bet a lot of people are this. So we became experts in this digital space, and now we help people, but either by coaching them or building their own product. But we actually sit down with them and clear out that overwhelm and confusion. We could take them through a discovery phase to see what they really want to do. We plan it all out with a business plan. Development is huge because lots of times people start with the what I call the post-it notes. I hate post-it notes because they just put all their ideas out, and it only
Mhm.
gets them more overwhelmed. And when they brain dump all their ideas, they still don't know, how to gather it and how to organize it. So we take them through that process of script writing and storyboarding, and then producing the product, whether it's video or slide presentation. And then we always get the confused client, and it's normally their very first question they ask us before they've even put the pen to paper is, what learning management system should I put it on, whether it's Thinkific or Kajabi or Kartra or
Mhm.
anything. They want to know because they've heard it out there, they've investigated out there, and they want to know right away, what platform am I putting this on? And it's like, that's at the very end. That's at the very end. Don't be worried
Mhm.
about that right now. So I think all the LMS platforms are doing great advertising these days, and everybody has their little niche, and so everybody's interested. But really, what my piece of advice for anybody that's interested in going into the space is, don't pick that learning management system first, pick it last. And it's all about what your course is delivering to the participant, and then pick it out. So, because you may overpay for it with too many bells and whistles that you don't need based on what you are delivering to the student, or you may not have other marketing apps that will back up the success of the course. So you need to buy a little bit more powerful LMS system to lay it on in order for you to do your email blast and things like that. So, we take them through, we try and eliminate that overwhelm so they can be successful, and they can make progress every single day. So even when they have writer's block, we can push them through that and give them tips and ideas on what to do when developing their course.
And that's very true. That's very true. Because overwhelmed, yeah, people get overwhelmed because they see this. And, I'm not going to get into, what you do, but when on my side, I see this, they go to a platform, okay, and they think that they could just put stuff in. But then they forget there's a certain way that things have to be done. You can't create on that how would I say? You can't just start creating on that platform. You have to already have created what you need.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. A lot of times they get confused by that. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But anyway, what impact can the average entrepreneur expect to gain from this blueprint?
Scalability in their business. I think scalability is important. I always go back to coaches and consultants. You only have so many hours in a day, and you can't bill, and once you max out, you don't have the opportunity to scale. And I love hearing your theme is productivity, because for this month, because we a huge believer in productivity. A lot of business owners go into business for two reasons, right? Money and freedom. Well, the more money we make, guess what? The less freedom we have. The more freedom we have, sometimes the wallet is a little bit lighter, and so this allows someone to continue make the revenue in their business, allowing them to scale, number one, and allowing them to get some freedom back as well. So some of those lower level clients that wouldn't be able to afford the one-on-one offer, now they're, taking the e-course or reading the book at their own pace. But maybe they weren't your key client anyhow, but you've helped them anyways. You've helped them anyways. So you get that time and freedom back.
Yeah, time and freedom back. And, that's very important, especially the time, especially the time, because like you said, it's a way. And I do have products in all of those, spaces and everything. But, that one-on-one can get overwhelming because we only one person. We only one person. And like you said, it's a way for people to see, well, is this person really a true fit for me? Is that person really a true fit for me? So I have it where, I have products where it's either, it's self-paced, or if they need accountability, accountability, but it's something that they would choose. It's something they would choose. And these are very important, y'all. These tips are very important. And I hope that you're taking down notes and really thinking about how you could put these things to practice in your business. Or if you don't have a business, how can you take what you have, the value that you have, and package it into a book, and then from that book into an e-course like Laura is talking about, to create these extra streams of income, because everybody learns differently. That's another thing. Everybody learns differently. Some with books, some with e-courses, some with this, some with that. So that's another thing. You have to offer a variety of learning tools for, individuals out there, because everybody learns differently.
Well, and it's on demand, right? We're
Yeah.
used to on demand. Before, everything was scheduled in our lives, right? We wanted to
Hmm.
watch that TV show. We had to wait till Tuesday at
Oh, yes.
8 p.m. to watch it. That is not the way we entertain ourselves these days. We
Mm.
want to watch the show. We go to Hulu or Netflix and we watch it on demand.
Yes.
Well, learning has become the same way. Go find that course, go find that book on your time and your schedule. You can do it, right? Before,
Yes.
we used to have to go to some sort of event and listen to the speaker to learn what knowledge they had to give to us, right? At some event, oh, we want to listen to the speaker and
Mhm.
learn and learn. Well, guess not what? Now the speaker can deliver it digitally and you can find them and get it online when you
Yes.
want to.
Oh, and it's so sweet. Can you remember those conferences, going to those conferences all day, having to find a parking space and everything?
And
Oh,
eating the chicken lunch.
oh God. I'm so grateful for this digital space, digital space that goes around the world. You know,
Yes.
even at the airport, you don't have to, fight at the airport by waiting in line. Digital, digital.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
even though, the world is opening up,
yes.
a lot of people say the world's opening up. Is it too late, to jump into this industry? No, it's not too late.
Oh
Follow the
no.
money. The investors are pumping in
Oh
billions
yeah.
and billions of dollars in this industry. But again, the carbon footprint, people don't want to put on the big conferences anymore,
Mhm.
because there's so much waste and travel and everything else.
Yeah.
So there are some things what we call COVID keeps. And COVID and the digital space is here for people to digitize themselves and to offer it to people, or even we 2018 19 people said, we're not doing e-learning courses. I have to train live. I have to train live. Well, they not any longer, right? So
Nope.
but it's not too late, because just like I said, the people aren't throwing the big conferences, or they're doing hybrids, or if you did
Mhm.
corporate training, the corporations are not going to
Mm-mm.
pay for travel any longer.
No.
IBM IBM had a increase in employee engagement in the past 2 years just from their digital training, and they'd be able to save 70% off their training costs in
Hmm.
2020. You
Oh,
think
I
they're
bet.
going back to live
Oh
training? I
no.
don't think so.
No.
So
Yeah, I have a good friend that works in the sound industry, and he has traveled around the world with these big names. And some of the corporations that used to, request him, this time he would be in Madrid, Spain, okay, at these big corporations. And I believe that was HP. Well, no longer do they do that.
mhm.
No longer do they do that. Everything I guess is digital and, on a different platform. So no, the big corporations are not going back to that. They're not. And that's
Right.
and that's where people should pay attention. I always tell my audience, pay attention, okay? Pay attention to the industry. Pay attention to the change. Okay? People have to pay attention. A lot of times they don't pay attention. And I call 2020 a reset.
Mhm.
Okay? A reset. Just like the year 2000 was a reset, the year 2020 was a reset. Things
Mhm.
dramatically changed. Back in 2000, it was a difference. Things were just being introduced, but this thing has totally shifted. It has totally shifted the way that we do business, the way that we live. The way that we carry ourselves. Everything has changed, and and the internet is constantly evolving, and you have to keep up. And I tell my clients, I tell the audience, they have to keep up with the change, or they'll get left behind. It's
Yeah,
not going back. Okay.
I love it that you have everybody, look for change, because that's what I call scanning, right?
Mhm.
We have to scan wide, like you said, your
Mhm.
industry, the
Mhm.
environment,
Yeah.
laws, anything that's happening, so you are ready to pivot. There's so many
Yeah.
people that were like this, and that's why things got destroyed during COVID because they weren't
Yeah.
scanning and ready for the next thing that's good, the ball to drop, right? The next ball to
Yeah.
drop, whether it was 2008, 2000, if you're
Yeah.
not ready to pivot by scanning widely, you're not ready when something hits.
Oh
And
yeah.
and so, if you scan widely, you can pivot if there's some change, or you can jump on the opportunity faster than anybody else. But you brought up the T word, technology. So many people are confused by technology,
Yeah.
overwhelmed by technology, but technology has leveled the playing field.
Oh yes.
So you can be in your home office behind a laptop and be
Hmm.
as powerful these days as someone sitting owning 3 floors in a high-rise building.
That's
It has
true.
leveled the playing field. So take the opportunity of technology to automate and promote your business.
And that's so true, Laura. And just what you said, you know, there's some people that have CEO knowledge, okay? CEO knowledge. They have that knowledge, but they never were given the opportunity. But now is the time that they could just be in their homes and turn that camera on and write that book and write that e-course, whatever it is. And because the fields are level now,
Mm-hmm.
it's a level playing field. Just like I tell them, they say, should I have a publisher, a traditional publisher, or should I self publish? I said, there was one time that everybody went to a traditional publisher, but how many people got their brilliance shut down because the traditional publisher didn't think that that book should be introduced to the market at that time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The same with technology. Okay. The same with technology. Who is there to hold you back? There's nobody there to hold you back except yourself.
Correct.
Except
And there's
yourself.
people to help. There's people like you to help them with your book, so, to get it out there quicker, faster, right? And
Yeah, and
easier.
there's people like you to take them to the next level in their business. So they shouldn't have to be struggling. Before it was, I have to expand my business. Let me see if I could go down there to Chase and get a loan at the bank. No
Right.
longer do they have to do that
Right.
because there's more money in what we know than in what we do.
That's for
Right?
sure. That's for sure.
Okay? And they can have a product, and that product is the thing that could scale their business to the next level because it's going to reach what? There's 7.9 billion people in the world.
Yep.
There's something for everybody. There's abundance in this earth. There's no lack in this earth.
No.
It's changed them to abundance mindset, shifting their mindset that, look, I could do this. And the only thing that if they're not doing it, what's holding them back, Laura?
Yeah. Yeah. It's going for the opportunity, seeing the opportunity, taking the opportunity, and making progress and not standing still. Not
And not
standing still,
standing
I
still.
think is very important, that every day, even if you're writing a book and you don't feel like writing that day, find something you can do to
Yeah.
to push that, process forward.
Yeah.
Whether it's like I have writer's block, or, I'm sure that's a true thing. I just don't feel like it today. But maybe you're dropping a quote, at the end of every chapter. Well, just sit down and find quotes. That's
Yes.
not too much work that day. At least you made progress to that book and progress to each and every chapter, right? Even though you didn't feel like it that day, So,
Yeah.
and I think that's what you got to do in life as well. Make progress, take one step every single day.
Yeah. But a lot of times do we feel like doing what we do every day?
No,
No. But we have people, our audience who's waiting for us. We have to show up. We can't disappoint them because they're waiting for us. See, that's another thing to build a know, like, and trust factor. Okay,
mm-hmm.
you have to show up. And you don't show up any kind of way. You show up with value. And y'all, this is a very valuable telecast today that we're talking about. Taking your book to the next level, taking your business to the next level by creating that e-course. Someone right here that will help you. whether you have a small business, whether you have a business, or organization, whatever. Okay, stop wasting your time putting, and I won't say wasting your time because you're building no like and trust, but then they struggle. Let me put it this way, Lord. They're struggling for money. Okay? When they have something that they could put out there that will bring them income, but they're
Correct.
posting it out there. Not, I'm not telling y'all not to post, okay? I'm not telling you not to post, but don't put all your business out there. Don't
Right.
put all your value out there,
People will
okay?
pay you. People will pay you for that information
Yes,
every day.
every
And
day.
to flip it on the other side, maybe someone says, I don't want to do an e-learning course. That's not for me. But you can still digitize yourself and get some time back in your business. And it's
Yes,
efficiencies as well. Like we just said, maybe we don't want to show up, but we have to show up, right? We have to
yes,
show up. And we have to be professional and everything else, whether we want to or not. But I call when we digitize people and into some of their repetitive activities that they do in their business, maybe it's client onboarding, right? You can digitize that process, but you
yes,
show up as your best self all the time and you do your best work all the time, and by digitizing yourself, because you're ready to perform at that time, where maybe one morning you get up and you had an argument or something. You're not showing up as your best self to your clients.
mm,
But there's certain aspects of your business that you can say, okay, my client onboarding, I'm going to digitize. My client training, I'm going to digitize. So every time
yes,
they meet with you live, it's very valuable because they know what to expect already. You've
yes,
already told them digitally what to expect. So they're here, they're prepared to do what you want them to do. So it's not always for revenue generation, it's for time saving as well in their business to help them
yes.
scale. So
It's so true. It's so, so true. Let me see if we have any more questions. Okay, no, we don't have any on this side. Can't see on the other side, but on the LinkedIn side. So here's something else I want you to think about and to share with the audience. Share one piece of advice that can be a game changer for the entrepreneur who is at a crossroads.
I would say don't let fear hold you back. Okay, don't let fear hold you back. When you're fearful of what you're expecting in the future or worried about what's expecting in the future, all of a sudden, where we want you to scan widely, all of a sudden you have tunnel vision because you're focused on one thing, whether I need that next dollar to come in, I need this in, and you kind of got that scarcity mindset at that time. If you think about, what you're afraid of, what could happen if that really happened, and just prepared for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll find that you'll see more opportunities out there. You'll see more where you can go get that revenue stream. You can see where you actually have a better confidence level as well. And if you're more confident, of course, you can make those decisions. But I'm going to say plan for fear, and be a little riskier. People hold back
Mm-hmm.
too much. And I think if they were a little bit riskier and planned for the worst. I mean, because the worst could happen, right? You just never know. But I think they need to take those chances more, and the
Yeah.
opportunities will increase. I think if you're too focused, you're only looking for a couple of opportunities when there's hundreds out there. We just told you, at least 10 good tips on this call, whether it's expanding your geographic region, having multiple products, you'll see
Mhm.
those opportunities much more.
Yes. And that's a good point because about, not being so rigid, thinking that, they can't pivot and shift and different things of that nature. And, pivoting. That was a thing in 2020, pivoting, right?
Yeah.
You have to learn not to be so rigid, thinking it's got to go this way, when there's opportunities. And that's how a lot of times people miss opportunities. Yeah, and you mentioned fear. And I always say use fear as a stepping stone to launch you into that next dimension. Because in fear, okay, comes a whole bunch of opportunities, and you have to, take the risk. Okay, take the risk. You can't remain in that place where nothing's happening. And if it's not happening for you right now, what makes you think that it's going to happen for you, if you just stand still and do nothing?
And you don't have to be perfect,
Huh?
right? You don't have to be perfect. Make
Oh
progress
no.
before perfection. I think especially for the female entrepreneurs, everything has to be perfect. I'm not opening my business because my website isn't just right. I'm not ready yet because I don't have my email list. I'm not ready yet. No, make progress each and
Yes,
every day. Be a better person to this world each and every day, right?
yes, yes.
You don't
Nothing's
have to be
perfect.
perfect.
No. And that's a good point, because what? Perfect. Even big corporations aren't perfect, y'all. They're not. How many times there's recalls on automobiles because they just put them out there and they have to recall them? They're not perfect.
Right.
you know? So why do we think we have to be perfect? I always say you could always upgrade, right? You could always tweak. And that's a good thing about the digital space, Laura, because anytime I have to upgrade my ebooks and stuff, I go in, I upgrade them and put them right back online. The same thing with the e-course. That's the good
Yes.
thing about the e-courses and ebooks, right?
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to update. So, maybe it wasn't perfect at launch, but you got it out there and you
That's it.
succeeded. And you
That's it.
succeeded before someone else did. So if it needs to be tweaked at a certain chapter or a certain lesson, it can be done.
Yes, it can be done. So I don't think anybody has questions today. I guess they just listening in um, at everything. But this certainly was a very eventful, broadcast, and we shared a lot of tips with y'all. And this is how you get in touch with Laura Newbauser. And you want to give them that. I think it's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, but I think I have another. Um, Maybe it didn't take. Give them your phone number, Laura. I know
Sure.
we heard
It's
this one.
702 800 0881.
And
Or
tell
you
them
can reach.
again what you do.
And I create digital products like e-learning courses, membership sites, and online communities. And we digitize, any training you have. We can put it in a digital product and help you scale your business. And you can also reach us at kaleidoscopemediaservices.com. That's scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I hope that you all receive value from this, and I thank you to my guest Laura Newbauer for being here with me today. And I thought it would be something that you all really like, and that you all received a lot of value out of this, to see yourself, because we're painting what we talked about today. We're painting that visual picture for you to see yourself, to see your business in another light coming up to 2022, because there's so much more for you. There's so much more for you. But just like she said, it's time for you to take that risk. It's time for you to step out. It's time for you to use fear as a launching pad to launch your business into another direction or into another space. Okay? Stop leaving money on the table, because there's much more for you if you're not afraid and you're willing to pivot. Okay? So, with that being said, thank you, Laura, for joining me today. And I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me today, or to join us today on Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. And we look forward to seeing you the next time. Don't forget to share this broadcast out with your friends. And remember, this is your time, this is your season, this is your turning point. So, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.